do I? Let's see. How do I turn the camera around? Oh, I can't turn the camera around. Okay. So I can't turn the camera around, but that's cool. what about to say? Okay, so well, that's fine. Okay, so I'm just here talking. Hi, Demetra. Um, oh my goodness, this is my first live. Okay, so let's see. I'm just talking to myself as normal. Well, as usual, I should say. And let's see, Demetria, what you want to talk about? I was thinking about earlier some old toys that I had that I used to play with back in the 80s for some reason. So it's stuff dealing with some toys coming up or something. I don't know. But anyways, I had this toy. Um, One of my favorite toys was a Teddy Ruxpin. Now, I like that. I used to read a whole lot of books. Well, yeah. And having that Teddy Ruxpin, it was real nice. I don't know. I like Teddy Ruxpin. Of course, I haven't, haven't seen one in years. But yeah, that was my thing, Teddy Ruxpin. Oh, and then a glowworm. I had a glowworm. This just popped in my head. I remember when I was younger, I wanted to. What grade was I in? I was in the fifth grade, fourth or fifth grade, and I had a. I used to want to be a fashion designer. Well, I still do actually want to be a fashion designer. So I remember. How can I say this? Even I'm gonna go back even before fifth grade. However old I was, 10, 9, 10, 10 years old. But before that, um, we used to, I had doll babies and stuff like that when I was a little girl, had doll babies. And when, let's say a Barbie doll, and say the Barbie doll only came with two outfits. So I used to get old socks, the socks that had holes in them and everything. And I used to cut up the socks and safety pin them together to make outfits for the Barbie doll. And then sometimes, the socks, I used up all the socks that got holes in them. So I just used to stick the sticker inside of a regular sock, and she ain't had no feet sticking out, but it was cool. And then the paper dolls. I remember I had some paper dolls from the Dollar Tree or the dollar store. I guess it was called Dollar Tree still back then. Oh goodness! So I think she was probably $1 back then. Probably seen them a lot, which it probably was a lot back then when I was younger. But it was this box of paper dolls from the dollar store. Inside of it, it's like cardboard. So it's like that thick cardboard. Excuse me. And the girl had the little flaps, like say the outfits or whatever. When you punch out the outfits, they have like the white tabs that you can fold behind the doll to keep their clothes on her. So I used paper, and I think she came with like, I don't know, 3, 4 paper doll outfits, and you can always buy separate outfits. And each girl is different girls. I probably had like 4 or 5 different boxes of girls. How the girls look with different clothes and stuff. So Anyway, so when we used to go to the dollar store, I used to be like, "Can you get this for me, Ma? Can you get this?" So she would get me a box, and then every so often we would go again. I would be trying to get another one, but with a different girl. But basically, since it was paper, I actually started designing um, clothes for her myself. Mind you, this is a paper doll, and just get sheet of paper, some color pencils, crayons, and then I cut it out, including the tabs. I made sure that the white folds, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be white, but the little flips that can hang behind the girl. So yeah, I had my color pencils. I did skirts, shirts, tops, pants. So yep, that was me. And then so fast forward to when I was in the fifth grade, fourth or fifth grade, one of them. And then I was in my bedroom, and so we had a radio, a boom box in the room, and then we had some cassette tapes. And then the boom box, you got to hit record and play at the same time in order for it to record. So I used to like my school clothes. I remember I did this. It was a couple of days before the beginning of the school, before the school started. So we had freshly new school clothes, a couple of outfits. So I used to record myself. Like I put the outfits out on my bed, and then I would record myself talking about the outfits. So I'm recording myself, yeah, the blue shirt, and the blue shirt got three buttons down there, and then the pants, the jean pants, it got this print on the thigh part, this design, So I used to do that and then pause, every couple of minutes or whatever in between the outfits. So I did that like three or four outfits or however many school, new outfits that we had. So the reason for I was recording myself is because I would play it back. Like I would play the tape back. So I would put on the clothes, that I had laid out, in that order that I had recorded myself. And then I would like model. So I would press play on the recorder, and, hurry up and run out the room, and then, hear my voice, talking like, yeah, here we have Demetra. She has on a blue shirt. So I would come in the room and then, walk around my room, listening to myself describe the outfit that I had on, like I was on a runway. So yeah, I used to do that. And I don't think they do that anymore. I think now people just walk down the runway. I don't think, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know. But from what I've seen, it seemed like people just walk down the runway with clothes and everybody just look. I don't think it's I guess a commentator, whoever the person called. I don't think it's one of them now that describes what the model has on. But yeah, I used to do that. And then, let me see. And I remember I went to an open house for um, the Art Institute of Washington. So I went to the open house, a lot of students there and everything. Then they had raffle giveaways and stuff, and I'm like, all right. And then so I like everybody had a chance to win something, a pencil, a water bottle, a T-shirt, a mouse, uh, a pen, like a hat, something that has the Art Institute of Washington printing on there. So I forgot exactly what you had to do for the raffle. Was it just giving away or what? But I had won the raffle with the T-shirt. So I had a shirt that said the Art Institute of Washington, and I remember so many people who won like a pen or a water bottle or a bracelet or something. They would come to me, hey, can we switch? Can I have the shirt and you have this? I'm like, no. And I'm just like, this shirt is a high commodity. Everybody want this thing. And I still had it for years later. This when I was like, how old was I? Yeah, I think I was like seven. No, I was in my 20s. Was I in my 20s? I don't even know what I was. 19, 20. I'm trying to think, was I driving? I think I did drive down there. So that had to be, yeah, 20 ish. But, anyways, I was like, no, I'm keeping my shirt. So, I kept my shirt. So that was pretty cool. And then in high school, yay, I took a fashion design class, which was pretty good. Learn about different fabrics actually firsthand. So I was like, okay, different patterns and stuff. So it was real nice. It was real nice. Um, let's see. What else I want to talk about? Oh goodness, when I was in that kitchen, just sitting down, a lot of things was going through my mind. Like, oh yeah, I remember this, I remember that. And then when I'm on here, I'm like, okay. But some stuff will come and talk to me. Or some stuff will come and talk to me. Something will come so I can talk about something. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I'm just glad that I can go live. Wow. Oh yeah. So since I can do this, I'm thinking now. Whenever I do go live, it's going to be my stuff is going to be called live diaries. Yeah, live diary, because it's like eventually, this this one I'm not probably saying too much, but eventually I'll start talking about some things, like just cut it on and just start talking instead of keep thinking about it. And I know diaries are normally kept secret, like the person who writes in it normally be the only one who really reads it, you know. But since this is a live diary and eventually everything will um, come to the light, like with everybody. So it's like, might as well just, hey, and just speak it and speak what you got to speak, because videos will be coming out, different things will be shown. It's like, hey, it is what it is, and that's with everybody. So yeah, so yeah, that's my live diary. But for the people who really want to know personal stuff, that's people who will actually be sitting right next to me, actually see you. And you can actually see me, and I can actually see you. So yeah, oh my goodness, I'm so excited of what's to come. Oh my goodness. I'm like, this is, woohoo. Oh yeah, matter of fact, okay. So let's see how this all started. I remember that this is about my name, Demetra. So I remember, what year was this? I don't know what year. It's gonna come to me. Let me think. Okay, let me slow down first of all. Okay, I think I don't know how old, but I was an adult. I'm gonna say 7 years ago. Not even that long, actually. Maybe about 5 years ago. But anywho, I remember, well, throughout my adulthood, I would go to church by my, I ain't gonna say by myself, but like on my own. I took the initiative to go to church after a while. So I was going to church faithfully for quite some time. Now I remember the last church that I would actually had called my home, that I am a member of, took the classes to become a member and everything. is located in Laurel, Maryland. And so I remember one day, and during this time, yeah, I was like in my 20s, because during this time I was still going to the club and everything. So I had one day, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to church. Now, mind you, I'm probably like everybody else. Always say, I'm gonna go to church next Sunday. I'm gonna go to church next Sunday. And then when that Sunday comes, don't go to church for whatever reason. You wake up on time, but you wake up past the time that you wanted to wake up, but you still got time to get dressed and do whatever to make it to a church on time. And you just be like, I'll do it next Sunday, procrastinating. So that's what I was doing. But I was like, you know what? I need to go to church. I just want to, like I don't mind going to church. Um, I don't think I was going through anything major at the time. It was just more so like, okay, just go. So I seen this sign, like in the area where I lived at, and I lived in Laurel, Maryland at the time also. So I seen, like some picket signs in the grass that say such and such church hours, this time and that time, and it got the address. And, I seen a couple of them signs posted around where I be driving. So I said, you know what, this the church I'm gonna go to. It's a sign. I'm just go to this church, go to this location. And I understand, churches don't necessarily have to be like in a quote unquote church building. It could be in a house, it can be in a building, but in a room, it could be in different places. I guess it's just the atmosphere, you know. So, so that Sunday, I finally, was like, all right, I'm going to this church. They got this sign, so I followed the address. Went to the address, and it was the time and everything. Went there the right time. So I was in a parking lot, and it was at this building. Heck, not, it was like a storefront building, and other stores was connected to it. So I got there in the parking lot on Sunday, like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I had the time say that it starts, and I'm like just about to own car in the parking lot. So I'm like, this is the location. So I'm looking at the door address, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. So I'm like looking around, got back in the car, and I'm just like, okay, I don't see no cars out here. Like, where's the people? Is church canceled? Like, but there's no sign on the door that said church was canceled for that day. So I'm just like, okay, waiting in the car. And then probably I waited in the car for like 15 minutes. No one showed up, in the parking lot. So I'm like, okay, I guess, something went out to say that this church is canceled today or whatever. So I went back home. So, but something was telling me, go back out there, go back out there. So I sat in the house for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm quite sure I can find a church. Like I drove past so many churches. Let me go to a church, and then another church down the street. One day, I guess they had family fun day or just a field day or something, and this on like on the main and the church is located on the main street. So like if you drive past, you can see people outside, and you can see everything. So I remember, one day I seen, people outside having fun, the kids out there, they was grilling out. So I'm like, oh, this is a church. Now the church was a house. It's like a regular house, but they turned it into a church. And I drive past it, numerous occasions, going down that street. It was like a highway street. What road is that? Um, I think of the road. It's not Laurel Bowie Road. It's not that one. It's the other crossroad. Is it Laurel Bowie? It's 97. That's what it's at. It's 97. So I'm like, all right. I know that this is a church now. So, anyways, I went back inside the house, and like I said, something was telling me just go back out there, go to that church that had, that party that day. So I'm like, all right, mind you, I ain't know the name of it. I ain't know the name of it, and I ain't know what time the service started, anything. But I'm like, let me just go and whatever. So I drove up there, which was probably like 5 minutes from my house. The other church was like 3 minutes, in the opposite direction though. So, anyways, I drove to the church. The parking lot had like rocks, wasn't like a pavement parking lot. It was rocks, and then I seen cars parked on the side. Of the road, like it's apartments next to it. So cars was parking on the side of the street. It was like a lot of cars. So I was like, okay, I know church is still in session. I said, I don't know what part I'm coming in on, but at least I, get something, a part of something. So I got out, walked inside. Everybody was like, "Hi, hi!" Like it was, everybody was just cheerful greeting me. I guess that's how they normally do anyway. Just, hi, how are you? How you doing this morning? And this and that. And I don't know what time it was. Probably was like 9:30 or so. So got did they have a pamphlet, a flyer that day? I don't know. They was passing out I guess programs. That's what it's called. I can't remember. But anyways, and they had like a overflow level, and then they had a basement. The basement level, had the chairs, the instruments and stuff like that up in the front, and then before you go down the steps, it's a landing, and then that landing they had seats and stuff there. They call that the overflow room, and that's where the bathroom at or whatever. And it had a kitchen, a regular house, and so anyways, had the service. Can't remember what was going on, what was talked about, but I know the did I hear the music? Yeah, I think I came right when it just had started up. I think it started at 10. I got there like 9:30. But anyways, I heard the music and I was just like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. So the pastor came out there talking. I was just like, oh, okay. And then like I'm looking around at the people to see, trying to get the fill up or like everybody in there. And mind you, it is a small church. It's like seemed like everybody knew each other. So if you a new face that come in, people will know. Like this isn't like no mega church or no big church. This was like, you know, a people that know people. So I'm like, okay, these people look decent. The energy level is pretty good. It's pretty cool. So after not after the service, but close to the end, the pastor's still up there, and then and then of course they be like any new people, yada yada yada, and then people go around hug people and everything. So everybody knew that I was new, and then the dress that I had on was like a future kind of a dress. It touched my knee, but it could have been a little bit longer, and it was a one piece dress, like a shirt kinda, and I had a black belt, and then I had some black boots on or whatever. But anyways, I think I sat right in the front. Like, mind you, I did not want to sit in the front, but one of the ushers, when I came down the steps, was like, "Oh, sit right here." So I was just like, but I was sitting like in front near probably was it the drums, the piano? I was sitting in front of some instrument, so I wasn't like directly in front where the pastor speak, but off to the side in the front row. But anyways, at the end, people clapping and pastor going around, and how they say anybody want to come and get saved and this and that or whatever. So I stood in my place or whatever. I was just like, this is my first time here. I need to just chill. So the pastor came to me, and of course everybody looked. He got a microphone, and he just like, yeah, you came here for a reason. You came to this church for a reason. I just felt something in you. He was holding my hand, and of course I hear the amens and yes, Lord, and this and that. So I'm just like, okay. He was just like, yeah, you're something special about you. You came here for a reason, this and that. So I'm like, okay. So that was pretty interesting. And then, of course, I didn't tell him the story or tell anybody the story how I end up going there, but it is the reason why, of course, I went to that particular church. Why the other church that I went to first was closed, because I don't supposed to have been at that one. I was supposed to have been at the one that the service that I attended service for. So yeah, everything happens for a reason. So, but anyways, I kept going in that church for years, and then that church kept moving locations because they was renting out the house, and then so we moved to a different location here, different building there, you know. But it was cool, and the music, oh my goodness, the music, the choir, like they can sing, like they can sing. But I don't know. I guess that's about it for now. At least I know I can probably go live, but I guess I'll probably write some stuff out or some notes or something next time I go live because I don't want to keep pausing for a long time thinking about something. I mean, I got some stuff on my mind, but it's like, yeah, not yet. Not yet. Yeah, it's like it's divine timing for some things, but yeah, not yet for some stuff. But believe me, it will. Yeah, but I will say some stuff soon. But yeah, it just actually feels good, like um, just talking. Yay! Alrighty, all right. And that's it. All right, Demetra. Bye.